Coverage codes in Alert Stratus provide you with the ability to set up the dates and times during a regular calendar week which you'd like to charge different rates to your customers. So for example, you can set any service activities between 8:30 and 5 p.m. during the business week to be a normal rate. Perhaps anything after 5 p.m. is an overtime rate, and working on the weekend is perhaps a second overtime rate. So Alert Stratus supports up to 5 different levels of coverage pricing. So you can have a normal rate, 3 levels of overtime, and 1 holiday rate. So as an example for when we're going to use a coverage code, perhaps when we're creating our case, we have our service code, and then we can enter a coverage code for this case so we know what type of coverage period we're going to allow for this case. So in this example, I have a 24/7 type of coverage code, so we're not assigning different rates for the different dates and times that are going to be worked on for this particular inspection case. So to create a new cost code in Alert Stratus, we'll select Settings, select our Alert Stratus setup, and then from here we'll select Coverage Codes. So right now I have 2 set up. I have an 8:30 to 5 type of coverage code and a 24/7 type of coverage code. So it's very common that most people are going to have a 24/7 coverage code where all of the rates are perhaps just a regular normal business rate. So what we'll do now is create a new coverage code. So for this example, we'll create a coverage code that's from Monday to Friday is always going to be our normal rate, where any work being performed on Saturday or Sunday is going to be an overtime rate. So we'll put in the name for this cost code. I can choose to add a default billing level if I wish. In this case, I'll choose to leave mine blank, but I can set this as a default if I'd like. This field we don't have to worry about. The system will populate those details for us. And we can choose to write in a description if we'd like to type in what makes this coverage code perhaps different from the others. Now here is where we're going to draw in exactly what the different rates are for every time and date within our regular business week. So you'll see I have the legend down here, and all we're doing, if we just select into one of these fields and we click on the right side of the box, we can choose the different coverage periods here, and if we select the left side of the box it'll go down, if we select the right it goes up. And here's where we're just going to plug in for this entire business week what all the different rates are for every date and time. There are of course a couple of shortcuts where we can choose to copy from certain dates, but if we just select Monday and click all the way through, we can publish these details all the way across for this week. So I'll set Monday through Friday, our normal business rates. I can say Saturday is perhaps going to be overtime 1, and we can choose that Sunday will be overtime 2. If we'd like to choose then from here, by scrolling over, that perhaps any work after 5 o'clock is going to be a different rate, we can then choose to go from here and then just go down the list and perhaps make this overtime 3 if we wish. So once we go through and we're happy with what we've done here, we're going to save and close. And we'll now see that we have our new coverage code sitting here. So now when we're performing cases and we need to enter a coverage code, we can then select this Monday to Friday coverage code.